and welcome back to Nonic Nonsense, a show where this is our third and final season. I am Kat Gold.
I am Michael Materdomini. Fun fact for the people listening, we tried to do this intro like 3 or 4 times, and the both of us are so rusty at this that we forgot our own intro. But we're here. People thought that this podcast was like done for some reason. No, we just needed to like hibernate, Kat and I. We needed to finish out our contracts because we were working our fucking ass off over the summer. Um, Kat cut herself open on a rock. You know, I was dealing with children's. But we're here, barely, like usual, crawling to the finish line.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kat, talk about. No, we'll let you start. Talk about your summer. What's going on? Update the peoples.
Okay. So, literally, right after we released the season closer for season two, right after I had gotten off of tour, I was like, I'm not gonna perform this summer. I'm gonna do a side quest. And somehow I ended up being the costume shop manager at Theater by the Sea for the entire season. Hey, it worked out because, like, literally, I just ended my job yesterday. Today, as a day recording, is September 22nd.
Yep.
And I go back on tour in less than 2 weeks. So convenient.
Money.
Money.
Sleep.
But yeah, no, sleep. Sleep. You're funny. You're funny. So yeah, no, I ended up. I mean, I did 40 million things there, but yeah, running the costume shop and working on Always Patsy Cline, Waitress, Hairspray, and Heartbreak Hotel. I throughout the season, my hands have touched and altered every single costume. I have done wig maintenance. I have run wigs. I have been a dresser. I ended up taking over as the wardrobe supervisor during opening weekend of Heartbreak Hotel. I'm a tired lady. I'm a tired lady. I work between 70 and 100 hours a week.
Oh.
I'm a very tired lady. Oh God, Johnny Van Dyke is calling me right now. I have to take the call because it's about the tour.
We're keeping this in.
Okay.
This is some real world shit. Welcome back. I made waffles.
Sorry about that, everyone. I'll never know peace. I will never know peace.
I made waffles. It was a fine break for me. I'm chilling.
Craziness. But yeah, no. So the summer was summering. I'm happy that I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish, especially as a person that would not identify as a stitcher or a designer, and getting to build some things, design some things, and running a shop, and then running the wardrobe department backstage at Equity Theater.
Yeah.
For someone that's been out of the game, technical on the tech side for a while, feeling pretty accomplished.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So, Michael, what have you been up to this summer?
What have I been up to? Well, I kept myself busy.
Yeah.
Currently sending something to the father. That's why
I
I'm very
thought you
good.
said you cut yourself busy, and I'm like, oh my God, same.
No, that was only in something rotten. No, so I did The Bodyguard, the Whitney Houston musical. And that was a lot of fun. I'll never forget how I got offered that contract. I was sitting, putting on my goatee for something rotten, and Patrick Fitzwater comes up to me. He sits next to me. He goes, "Hey." I was like, "Hey." He goes, "Do you want to be in The Bodyguard?" And my literal reaction was, "I don't want to take my shirt off in front of an audience." And he looked at me. He goes, Michael, no, as like one of the bodyguards. And I was like, oh yeah, sign me up. So I hopped into that contract. And she was she was a breeze in the room. Like it was just like a cute little track.
Mhm.
Um, got to play Tony. I made him incredibly New York. And the
Shocker. Unlike any other character you have done.
Listen, I read those lines and in my head I was like, I hear my grandpa saying these lines and like that means that like I have to have a Brooklyn accent. And I started it. And keep in mind, I did research. Like his last name was Scabelli, and I was like, "That's the most Italian last name." Like he definitely is from New York, right? So I started doing a Brooklyn accent, and then that caught on to all of the other bodyguards. So like Tanner started doing it, and Jarrell started doing it, and like Patrick literally sat us down and was like, "No Brooklyn accents. Stop doing it." Like blah blah blah, this and that. And I just raised my hand and I went, my last name is Scabelli. And he goes, all right, you can have a Brooklyn accent, but no one else can have a Brooklyn accent. So I was like, great. Did the contract. It was a lot of fun. I didn't expect it to be like as much of a crowd pleaser as it was. Like there were packed houses and like in the finale, like I want to dance with somebody, like everyone was like off their feet and like dancing and going crazy. And I was like, you know what? Like respect, bodyguard. Like, respect. Because that script is interesting. Like, the script is like a Hallmark soap opera with Whitney Houston music put in between. It was,
That was low key what actually high key what Heartbreak Hotel was.
yeah, it was interesting at points.
Hmm.
and, and shenanigans occurred as always, because if you have me and Ryan Kraut and Jarrell and
Danger.
Gabe Salgado, like Gabe Salgado, this was his first musical, and I was cracking up because backstage, like during the finale, the first opening night, he was like smiling and going crazy, and I like when everyone was singing, I was like, Gabe loves musicals, like, I was like that's the whole thing. But Jarrell went crazy with HR as he normally does.
Shocker.
And on my birthday, I thought it would be a funny idea as a gift to myself to have literally everyone backstage write him up. Not a single person didn't make a write up sticker, right? And we all stuck it on his window and we waited and we nailed him. And I have the video, so if we want to put it in here, I'll send it to you. What's up, buddy? Hey.
Well, where they fucked up is because it's not the last day. So everyone's fucked. Everyone's fucked. Everyone's done. That's how I have to come into work. Okay. Okay. Starting with.
Um, but we nailed him, and then he looks at me and he goes, "Even though you did this to me, Michael, I have a birthday present for you." And I was like, "I'm scared, but absolutely, thank you, Jarrell." And he whips out an unopened packet of post-it notes, and he goes, "Congratulations, you have been promoted to a part of HR. So when I'm not around, you're in." And I literally almost fainted. Kat. I've never like I've received a lot of wonderful gifts, like, but that being promoted to HR when he's not there, like I'm head of HR during Catch Me If You Can. So like I have to withhold a legacy that is just I can never be Jarrell, but I want to make him proud, you know.
Yeah.
And Jarrell, he deserved a bunch of write ups anyway throughout that process. Like he is like an HR nightmare himself as HR, and I'm probably he's watching this right now and he's writing me up. But one night there was a scene where Jarrell and I had just had to move on a set piece, but we couldn't exit because it was so quick. So we had to stay behind the bedroom set piece. And a bunch of people would exit during the scene. So by the end of the scene, we had like 4 or 5 people behind this set piece. And we were on like baby watch patrol. Lil Jackson, who played, I forgot the kid's name in the show, he was the kid of Whitney.
Hmm.
And he went behind there and he had this like little prop lanyard with his like face on it. And he was like messing around with it. And he put his arms in between it and did this like little like web thing. And it's that trick where you pull it really fast and for some reason your arm doesn't get tangled in it if you put your arm
Hmm.
in there. And he did it wrong. So when he was like, right, the little kids back there like, Jarrell, Jarrell, put your arm in the. And so Jarrell put his arm in there and the kid pulled, but it didn't work, right? So he was like struggling back there with Jarrell's arm stuck in. Keep in mind, during a show, and he yanks it so hard that the little kid Jackson, his head hits the side of the set piece while the scene is going on. So there was just this loud ass thud in the middle of the scene. And it's because the kid whacked his head on the side of the set piece. And everyone back there was mortified. Like we were all like, oh. And Matthew Corinto looked at Jarrell and was like, what are we doing? And Jarrell was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It was so much fun. Made a lot of great new friends. Timothy Mark Davis, he hates Rise of Skywalker, and I'm going to say that on here just in case he does watch this. Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker. I have to say it 3 times like Beetlejuice for him.
We should
Um,
get him to come on the pod.
oh,
He
he
does like
would.
some tomfoolery.
Yes, him and Casey, double date.
There you
Um,
go. There you go.
but then after Bodyguard, I went and I directed 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at the Delray Beach Playhouse.
Hmm.
Um, and that was like a roaring success. Like it was so much fun. We had 3 almost sold out houses. And for a teen show, that's like great. Because it's not it I tried to do the full thing. And I had to do the full thing because MTI was like, no changes. And I was like, great. But when I could not use certain words because of how inappropriate they were, I was like, great, we're not using those words. Even though the teens didn't listen. um, but I'll get into that when we talk about more tomfoolery later. But this season coming up, I am in Catch Me If You Can as Agent Cod.
Hmm.
Big Sly, he's comedic relief. Oaken, woo-hoo, big summer blowout in Frozen, so that's exciting. And then I'm moving away from home for a little bit. I'm not going to be with Slow Burn Theater Company for a show. I'm going to be
Hey.
doing First Date the musical with the Pompano Beach Players. And then after that, I'm going right back home. I'm gonna go do Hairspray. But you know, that's the season. And in Frozen, not Frozen, Hairspray, I'm playing male authority figure, which means
That is
I'll
such a fun track. As a
yeah.
person that got to like costume that, oh my god. Because you get to be Mr. Pinky, you get to be Mr. Spritzer, you get to be the principal, you get to be the flasher.
That one right there. See? Harry the horse came back and got typecast before he leaves South Florida. It's
Oh my
great.
god. Yeah, no. I'm excited for your season. I wish I could see stuff. Unfortunately.
But you're just casually touring the country, so
Oh yeah, I'm back on tour with Disenchanted. This time
woo!
full time as Milana Rapunzel, and I'm still covering Snow and Sleepy. Hell yeah,
As
hell
she
yeah.
should. She's back home. The woman who knows every single second and every single moment of that show.
Well, no, so like the authors pulled back the rights for the summer, and they've done some edits to the show.
Mm,
So we've got some like new dialogue and like some structure, some structural things have changed. Some of the things I am thrilled about because some of the lyrics are going back to the OG lyrics when they went off Broadway. So
nice.
we're bringing back, and even though I still sound white, never forget, never forget. Um, so that's coming back. Princess Bedroulbadour, Jasmine's number, has all new lyrics,
Great.
fully new lyrics. However, in the spring, we're saying bye bye to Jasmine. Very sad. However, we're getting Jane from Jane and Tarzan back, And so
That's a slay.
there's a duet between Belle and um, Jane called Beast of Burden that people have been complaining was cut from the show for a decade. Like people have been like, oh, that song was the best song and it's cut and da 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 da. It's coming back in the spring. So
Come on, Disenchanted.
very exciting, very exciting. Also something unrelated to this, but just because we were talking about like the tomfoolery during Bodyguard. Congrats to Ryan Kraut.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so I was waiting for like a specific moment to go ahead and like lift up my best friend over here. Homie got a Silver Palm, got
Mm-hmm.
nominated at the Carbonells, and is off Broadway in a span of like 3 months. And I'm sitting back here and I'm like, let's fucking go, Ryan.
Yeah,
Like,
so if anyone's in New York listening, um not ready for prime time. Go
yeah,
see Not Ready for Prime Time.
yes, go fucking support the homie. Cause that is like when he told me, because like I called him and I was like, "Yo, catch me if you can. Don't put me on that 10-1 line, or I'll kick your ass." And he goes, "About that." And I was like, "Bitch, like, what are you? What happened? It can't. What happened?" And he was like, "Oh, I did this," and I wept. I literally cried on the phone because I was so fucking excited for him. So yeah, no, shout out to the homie Ryan Kraut. I knew you were bullshitting me when you were like, "Oh, I can't hang out this weekend," and then you sent me a gift on Pokemon Go, and that gift was from New York. So I was on to your ass. I knew something was going on, but you didn't tell me. But I get it because secrecy and off Broadway. But I found out sooner than most of you motherfuckers. But no, it's exciting. Like that's I couldn't have, been happier for a person who deserves it more. Like he can do everything. And like sing, act, play the piano. He's the funniest guy in the room always. So, it's exciting for him.
Yeah, and we're very sad that we are not going to have him MDing Disenchanted now. However, when Noah called me up and was like, Ryan booked off Broadway, so he can't be with us, I was like, that's awesome. I'm sad he won't be there. And she was like, yeah, but you and me get to be roommates now. And I was like, I'm healed. I'm fine. I'm good.
I
I'm
don't feel bad
great.
anymore. Everything's fine. Everything's perfect in this world.
Everything's perfect.
That's so funny.
But no, congrats. That's a great cast. It's Jared Grimes, Caitlin Houlihan. I'm like, that's a stacked ass cast.
I couldn't gone to a person more deserving, genuinely.
And let me
So,
just say, Off Broadway is where it's at currently.
hmm
Off Broadway is putting out, in my opinion, more interesting original shit than Broadway is. Everything
hmm
is a goddamn has a intellectual property at this point. So
Yep.
Off Broadway is where it's at.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout
Big
out.
shout out, Ryan Kraut. Congrats, dude. We're all fucking thrilled for you, and we're all rooting for you down here too. And I will miss you in the room tomorrow. Um, but yeah, that's exciting. That's so fucking cool. Like, again,
It's
I'm still
really
like,
cool.
damn, that's dope as shit. But yeah. So spelling bee, we had auditions and callbacks, and I had a bunch of students already auditioning for it. So I was like, I know these kids and they're all talented. So this will be somewhat easy as to figure out who goes where and all that kind of stuff. So they all came in and they sang. And I requested, I was like, please sing from the show. Because if you sing for a character that you want and I didn't see you as that character, great. Now I know. And then I was like, I need to see how funny you are too. So please come in with like a 30-second to a minute funny story about yourself, and that confused a lot of people. Like they came in and they were like, funny story, and I was like, yeah, just like anything that you find like funny, like that happened to you. And they're like, oh, I came in and I wrote like a funny story by like just characters that I made up. And I was like, all right, listen, as long as it's funny, and I'm like, I made this super clear, but as long as it's funny. And that went great. And then the next day during callbacks, they sang for the characters that I wanted them to, and then they did a dance call. And now Amanda Lopez was my choreographer, and I was like, Amanda, This show is not heavy dance, but have fun. Like, I will let you do what you want, but as long as it's like fun. And she went, "Oh, this is going to be fun." And I was like, "Okay." These kids were throwing ass in this dance call. And I was like, "Amanda." Like, I was like, "Holy shit." Like, and I had everyone do it. And the kid because I only had three boys, I was like, "Okay, one of you is Chip, one of you is Barfay, and one of you is Panch. Like, I just need to figure out where the hell you go." And this kid Cole came into this room and treated Pandemonium like it was Anaconda by Nicki Minaj. And he got on all fours and started shaking ass. And I was like, and I looked at Laura Schwarzendruber, who was my stage manager, and I was flabbergasted. Like, I was genuinely like, this needs to be in the show. And she was like, that wouldn't make sense for Panch. I was like, it's gonna. Like, we're gonna make it make sense. So, it all led to this video that I am going to send to you of Panch dropping it in Pandemonium. And we showed this to other people, and this one kid, Charles, shout out Charles Page. He played Panch at Lynn University, and Laura showed him the video, and he goes, "In what world does Panch need to do this?" And I was like, "You know what? You're
Like
not
in
wrong.
Materdomini's world.
It mattered Dominique's world. You're damn right." Um, and we had like a bunch of fun. Like, I forgot it was a summer camp because I ran it like it was a professional room because I had 9 to 5 with them. So I was like, great, 9 to lunch is music. And then you have an hour break for lunch. And then we come back and we'll learn dance and do blocking. Like, I did not summer camp this at all. And we got done with the show so fast because it was a month-long process. And we only had one weekend of shows. So, like, basically 3.5 weeks was just rehearsals. And we got done probably within 2 weeks. So the other weeks are like cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And I looked at these kids and I was like, "Yo, I, I don't know what to do with y'all." Like, for real. We could throw this show up tomorrow and I'd be okay with it. And they were like, "Let's do a miscast cabaret of the show." And I was like, "This is going to be a disaster." But sure, right? So I had them like spin a wheel on my phone, and whoever they landed on, they played that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You know what? We have the whole day. Let's just do the whole show. Carry a script in your hand. Like, just don't hurt yourself vocally. Like, have fun, make choices, blah, 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 but just be safe." I canceled that at intermission so fast because they were doing crazy shit and belting, and I've had to come down a couple of times, not like screaming at them, but just like a disappointed father, you know, as to like, why did we make the choices that we made today? Like a couple of those times. And I'll never forget our final dress run. I invited friends to come see it so they can know where laughs were. Because at that time, I was like, there's nothing else to do but understand where the funny bits are for you guys. And they went so off script that I was like, after the show, I sat them down and I was like, "Everyone in the black box, right?" Over the God mic. And they were like, "Oh, God." I'm like, "Well, we're dead, right?" And I sat down and all I said was, "If MTI was here today, we would have been sued." And that locked them in. Like, they were ready to go. And thank God I had that comment because who showed up the next day for our opening night? Nancy Finn, William Finn's sister, showed up. And like, I thought it was some bullshit. Like, she walked up to me and she goes, "Hello, are you the director?" And I was like, "Oh, whose kid's parents is this?" Right? And I was like, "Yeah, that's me. Enjoy the show." And they were like, "We will." I'm literally his sister, and we come to see every spelling bee that we can. And I was on vacation down here in Florida for the summer, and I saw that you were doing spelling bee. So, hi, I'm Nancy Fan. I went, "Oh, fuck." Right? It's like I changed a couple of things. And I was like, because I didn't feel comfortable having a 12-year-old say virgin, right? I was like, this feels weird, right? So I walked back there all calm. I was like, "Oh, enjoy the show, Nancy." Fuck, right? And like I'm running and I get there and I'm like, I go up to Schwartzy and I pull on the cast and I go, "Hey, remember those things that I changed because I thought it was too inappropriate? You're gonna do them." I was like, "We're sticking to the script. Every single word is going to be said that is in the script. Thank you. Have a good show. Bye." And Nancy, I was like in the booth because I'm running tracks and doing mics at the same time, like an octopus. I'm like, oh my God. And and she's the first to stand up during curtain call, which was awesome. And then she gets back there and she told me, she goes, "You would have made my brother proud." And
Oh,
I cried and threw up at the same time. So, it was a really amazing experience. And I now have such an appreciation for directing, and I want to continue it and grow with it. And luckily, I was able to book the director for next summer's teen production, whether that be SpongeBob, Into the Woods, or Drowsy Chaperone. We'll find out, but it's one of the three. Um, but it was exciting stuff. It was a great summer. And now I have like a little urge to direct. So it's like, here we are. It's not just like Goofy Giggles playing the old guy all the time. Like I could be the guy behind the table, and that's cool. So
yeah. Having a little bit of control, boy, oh boy, does it go to the head.
that's the title of the episode. Yep, there. Holy shit. Yeah. No, and like, it was cool. Like, and I loved doing it. And like, I loved it. Like, that was my show, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I got to do everything. Like, I had Jesus come in on a tricycle dressed as a cloud. Like, and then in Leaf's number, Leaf had inflatable T-Rexes, like, like coming in behind them. And I was just like, only stupid people would appreciate this. And as stupid as stupid does, I had a wonderful team with Laura, Amanda, and G. Um, and that leads places because I didn't have anything in January, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I'm gonna have to like figure January out because it's gonna be tough. And then working with G as my music director, he suggested me for First Date. So it all ends up working out in the end. But that team was wonderful, and I really couldn't have done it without them. And those kids were so talented, like
Yeah.
to the point where I was like, I I couldn't have imagined this being any bit better. Like I had a perfect cast. So I hope they all come out for me next year. Just like I want all y'all back. That would be great. Um, but yeah, starting up Catch Me Tomorrow. Um, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm excited for that. And being back home with the Slobe family, and Patrice and Maddie K. But I'm excited. It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah. I'm excited to go back on tour. I really put my blood, sweat, and tears. Speaking of blood, I this is very quick because we're gonna wrap up shortly. But not only did okay, two things happened. We brush over it because it feels like I've been here for a year. I was actually only there for like 3.5 months, maybe 4 months, at this theater.
Yeah,
During waitress, during load in, as I was getting costumes out of the shop, I sliced my ankle on a rusty costume rack and ended up having to get a tetanus shot during tech.
badass.
Very exciting things. Hairspray, I actually didn't injure myself somehow. I cried a lot. Um, Hairspray really did me in, and then like Heartbreak was the final nail in the coffin. So like Heartbreak, it was hundreds and hundreds of costume pieces. I'll insert a photo of the costume shop with the sheer amount of clothes that were in it, in that show, and that's only the rental package. That is not including the clothes that I bought for the show. Yeah. So during that, I ended up having an emergency take over as wardrobe supervisor for the entire run. And one day, because I'm working 13-hour days, I'm like, oh, I got to run to the shop. Let me go get some safety pins. And I left my purse there like the day prior, whatever. I walk out. I took an Uber there and I trip. I'm in a brand new jumpsuit. I trip and I fall. I hurt my knee and I'm like, God, I hope it's fine. And like the Uber driver comes out, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I stand up and he's like, you are not fine. I was like, huh? And my leg felt wet and I thought it was just damp earth. And I
Mm-hmm.
look down and I am profusely bleeding. I fell on a rock and hit a blood vessel. I was bleeding out. And the guy was like, can I take you to the hospital? And I look at his car and his white interiors and I went, no, just go.
Let me die here.
I tried. He was like, "Are you sure?" And I like try to go in and try to find the first aid kit. I'm trailing blood behind me, so I'm like, I have to. I have to like tourniquet myself. So I took paper towels and some loose ribbon that was there on one of the shop tables and tied it to myself so I would stop bleeding out. Um, I'm gonna put a trigger warning right now.
You gonna do it?
I'm gonna insert the image of the bloodbath. And this is after I cleaned up a giant puddle of blood. Just warning, 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 warning. Insert image.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I tell the guy to go. I'm trailing blood throughout this entire shop. It's outside, it's inside. I lay on the bathroom floor. I call stage manager. Hey, I think I'm gonna be late for call. I called the production manager, not the production manager, the producer, the associate producer. And I was like, I need you to come get me and take me to an urgent clinic. I think I need stitches. And he was like, Are you sure? He comes to the shop. He's following the trail of blood to me. I'm like, I'm lying on the bathroom floor. He's like, Should I come in? I'm like, Yes, I'm fully dressed and just on the bathroom floor. Comes in, what the fuck? We try to bandage it up. We wrap it up so I can get out there. He throws a full-size bath towel at me to try to stop the bleeding. I'm trying to wipe up the floor. He's like, fuck the floor. They super glue me back together, and then I ran the show that day. I did a 2-show day that day. Anyway,
you're insane.
Yeah, summer
do you
was
have the picture of the Rock still that did it, the victim?
Do I have the Rock in here? I have the Rock in here.
My God, you took the Rock?
Yeah, I took the Rock. Everyone was like, you should. I was like at the shop, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could find the Rock that did it. Because the hole on my jumpsuit was so small, but I bled so much. It didn't seem right. So I was like, let me look outside at the Rock. 30 seconds later, I found the Rock. And everyone tells me to make jewelry out of it because it's so comical. This rock that caused that bloodbath. Okay. Just for scale next to my pointer fingernail. That is the rock. That's the rock that almost killed me.
Cat almost lost a leg.
But now, and I left my blood outside the shop, so they knew the blood sacrifice that I made to get through the season. Anyway, I guess this is how we're gonna wrap up episode 1 of season 3.
Thank you for tuning in. The way that we're gonna do it this year is we're bi-weekly, because there's only 10 episodes this season. So bi-weekly episodes on your dark days on Monday. Thank you for supporting us over the last 2 seasons, and hopefully you tune in for season number 3. And this is Michael Materdomini signing off.
This is Kat Gold signing off.
All right, stay happy, stay healthy, no COVID.